It seems like we are using Zoom every day for meetings, even parties, online classes, everything is happening in Zoom. So this is exactly why in this video I'm gonna share with you 5 tips that are gonna make your experience way better in Zoom. And finally, I'm gonna share with you some tips on how to look your best when you are making a Zoom meeting. If you want to take advantage of all these tips, stay tuned. 5 tips that are gonna be helpful if you're using Zoom. If you're having a meeting where you have one person, it's just very forward and easy to use. But if you're doing a Zoom meeting and you have a couple people, it could be 20 people. I recently did a Zoom call that had 1,000 people in it, so it can get very crazy. And these little tricks and tips are gonna make it even better for you. So one thing that it can become very hectic is that if you're making a presentation and somebody else has their audio on, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna hear everything that is happening in their house. It could be a dog, it could be construction, it could be something that can be very distracting for the audience that it's trying to understand what you're saying. So for this specific case, all you need to do is to mute everyone, at least the beginning, and then they can unmute their video when they want to talk. So a shortcut that you can use for this is Alt-M if you're using a Mac. But you can also find it in the menu if you forget the shortcut. So this is going to be very helpful because you're not going to have interruptions in your meeting. Another cool feature that Zoom has is the digital background. We're gonna talk about what's the perfect background later on in this video, but this digital feature, it is very fun. So all you need to do is go to your settings and go to digital background, I believe. And then when you're there, you can change it for a photo, for a video. You're gonna find some of them that are already pre-selected by Zoom, but you can add any background. I actually used this background for a webinar that I did with TikTok, and I thought it was great because I could add my name, they add the logo for the specific webinar that was happening, and you can do exactly the same thing. You can make a background maybe in canva.com and you can add your logo or you can add your name, and this can make it even look better. Share your screen. If you're making a full-on presentation, you can share your screen, and this is extremely helpful for classes. Also, you can share something that you're doing in the computer and you can share your whole screen. And in this same option, you have other options, like for example, annotation, where you can highlight like something specific that you're talking about. So maybe it's easy for the person to follow up the steps and be like, okay, yeah, this person is talking about this. But if you want to make it even more clear, you can definitely like point it and be like, okay, this is the first point, and it's better if you go this and this, or maybe it's better if the point number 3 you make it number 1, whatever you want. So it's great to also give a little bit of interaction to this whole digital experience. If you're going for making a point, the whiteboard, which if you go on to share screen, it's gonna show you the option to whiteboard. And if you're using the whiteboard, you can make drawings or be like, okay, point A, point B, if you go here to here, and this is how you do it. So it can become like really like a board, like if you're in a classroom, and just making things very, very clear for your audience or for the person that you're chatting with. Also, you have the option to record. When you press this option, you can record the Zoom meeting, which is great because specifically if you're doing some sort of webinar, this material, you can use it later on to promote that webinar or just to use it in general for your social media and make some repurpose for this. So this can be super helpful, or if you are in a meeting which is important and you want to record every detail that is happening and then review it, then you have that option. But you have the option to record the meeting, if I'm right, only if you are the host of the meeting. You have another option that it's reactions, and this it's pretty much just fun. Like if something is happening, you're like, yeah, thumbs up or like claps. This is cool. So it's a great way to just keep things going and make it even more fun. If you're enjoying this video, you're taking value out of this video, don't forget to like it so I know I can make more videos like this. Also, you got free tips every week in this YouTube channel, everything about looking great in front of the camera, so subscribe so you can get more tips. Now going for the tips on how to actually look professional, look great in your Zoom call. So the first thing that I need to point, I'm gonna go step by step really. So the first thing, it will be the preparation before the call. And I definitely need to talk about makeup. If you're a girl and you want to have your makeup on point, I will really suggest to keep it sort of simple because you don't want to look like you're going to like a nightclub, obviously. So you can use neutral colors. Browns are totally great. In this case, I'm using the Urban Decay palette and it's awesome. I use it all the time, this palette, probably one of my favorites. Then I add my foundation and I'm gonna leave you the links in the description, but you don't necessarily need foundation. I just do it because in camera specifically, things look way more than they look in regular life. But besides foundation, some concealer, and in my case, I know that I said it was simple, but I like to add fake lashes because your eyes look very small in camera generally. So but if not, just add a lot of mascara and it's gonna look fine. A little bit of contouring. This palette specifically, I love it because it's like 2 neutral tones. It's super affordable. I bought it in a drugstore and I use it all the time. So yeah, keeping your makeup really simple and the way that you use it most of the time, it's gonna be the best way to go, to be honest. Then I need to talk about lighting, and it's great to find a spot where your lighting it's direct, so it's frontal. If you have a spot that the lighting is coming from the back, you're gonna look black and it's not gonna be a really good look because nobody's really gonna be able to see you. And it's the same thing if you're in a location where the lighting is coming from above or it's coming from the side or something like that. And especially that yellow light that we probably have at home, it's not really flattering. So normally the Zoom calls are happening really during the day, so just go next in front of a window and start talking in front of a window where the lighting looks way better 1,000 times. It's a Zoom call at night. I will have a suggestion of a ring light. You don't have to do this, but if you want to look extra cool, I will leave you the link in the description box for the ring light that I have at home. This video is sponsored by the workshop I'm Not Photogenic and How to Fix It. If you want to find your angle in front of the camera, you need to do this workshop. I'm gonna leave you the link in the description box so you can sign up today. Backgrounds, it's great if it's just simple. Just find a white wall at home or any color really, and it's going to look way better. You really want to avoid any kind of mess. But if you can't really avoid any type of mess, you can definitely use the option that I shared at the beginning, which is a digital background, and this is gonna make things way easier. Just try to avoid colors in this background that are very similar to the clothes or your skin tone, because then it's gonna get mixed and you might disappear in the background. So it is better if it has a little bit of contrast. When we talk about clothes, it's always, especially if you're doing a Zoom meeting, because it's a work thing, we have been doing Zoom meetings for like events and our friends and somebody's birthday and stuff like that. But if it's something that it's professional, it's always better to really go for solid colors. In this case, I selected a turtleneck that it's black, and this can definitely never go wrong. If you select a white shirt, can't go wrong either. The only thing is that if you're using like a digital background and your background is white, just be careful because there's not really contrast. But you can't really go wrong with a black turtleneck. I'm gonna leave you the link in the description for this one specifically, which I use all the time. Also, a little extra about makeup. If you're a girl and you're doing something professional, probably it's better, especially in front of this camera, if you're doing a simple makeup and adding a red lipstick. It can look very nice if you are doing this for maybe a more creative job or to add a splash, and normally it's fine, but it seems like through Zoom, when you use red lipstick, it looks very, very out there. So I will honestly prefer to go to neutral colors. It's such a personal view of things, and let me know what you think about it in the comments, but I do believe it looks way more professional when you keep it very simple. And finally, the levels. Sometimes we're taking these meetings on your bed. Maybe you're taking the meeting on your bed. Maybe you're taking your meeting on the floor. Like, you're at home, you're in your computer, whatever. And sometimes the computer can be in a very low angle, and this is not necessarily very flattering. So all you really need to do is to find a chair or anything, a mini table or like something that it's pretty much on your eye level, so you look way more like you look, and you just don't look like super weird in a low angle, which is not flattering, and it makes you look pretty weird. It is way better if you can place your computer in your eye level. You're gonna look 1,000 times better. A little extra thing is that now I have a text community where I share tips that are very helpful for you. Updates every Wednesdays, and on Fridays I share a VIP tip with you. Here is my phone number, and you can text me so you can automatically be part of this community. To end this video in a very high note, I'm gonna leave you all the links in the description box on everything that we talked today. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the family. Remember, you're beautiful and special. See you next time!